Hi guys, this is John Paris from I Still Can't Get a Review, and I Can't Get Who's Name 6. This time I'm going to be reviewing Sonic toys. Now this is my first time buying anything from Sonic, so wish me luck. Alright, so let's take a look at the packaging. I got Sonic and Super Shadow, regular Sonic and Super Shadow. So let's take a look at Sonic's packaging. The top is kind of orangey yellow, and it goes all the way down to a really nice blue. And here we got a picture of Sonic, warning hazard, over 12 points of articulation, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Sonic the Hedgehog. In the back we see all the figures of this wave, which are Knuckles, Tails, Sonic, Shadow, Werehog, a translucent blue Sonic, and Silver, and Sonic from some other video game that I really can't read right there, but he comes with the sword. So yeah, now let's look at Super Shadow. Now this is kind of different. The top is kind of like this blackish blue, and pretty much the rest is gold. And here's Sonic, and pretty much the same thing, except down here it says Super Shadow. And in the back there's a whole different wave. Pretty much the only differences are Amy, she was added. They have Metal Sonic, SBO Vector, Super Sonic, Super Shadow, and Super Silver. Collect them all, of course. Now, I bought these figures. They're really nice figures, but I had quite a few problems with them. So, first I'm going to bring in Super Shadow. So here he is. They're really small. I mean, compared to my hand, you know, they're fairly small, but fairly detailed. Let's go over their details. All the red stripes are there. You know, every single little red stripe, even the ones like, that's on his foot, which is like pretty excellent. The little patch of fur right there, white fur is there. Even the bottom of his shoes are detailed, which is like really, really good. Now for articulation, he can turn left and right, but then gets hindered by all this hair. His arms can go out, rotate, kind of, bend at the elbow, see right there, and twist at the wrist. He has this waist joint that just lets him go left or right. Legs could go up, sideways, bend at the knee, and rotate at the shoe. And they also come with these nice little stands, which serve for probably just one purpose, which is where all the problems of these figures come out. First problem, these figures look a little frail. I mean, I'm scared of messing with them for fear of breaking them, but that's not really, you know, a big problem. The second problem is the looseness of the joints. Now, it doesn't help that this figure is extremely top heavy, which is another problem because of all his hair. This figure is just extremely top heavy, so it makes it hard to just stand. I mean, that was just a lucky shot, but the stand doesn't really help. It helps a tiny little bit, and just the looseness, even in the legs. You can see, I stood him the same way he was, and it's just doesn't work. The only tight joint is in this arm, and take a look at the other arm. You have to add more force on this one, and this one's just like, whatever. Which was a little disappointing because I love Shadow. I mean, I'm not a huge Sonic collector. I mean, these are the only toys I probably will buy for Sonic. But Shadow was just an epic character, and I loved his gold form, and it's sad because I really wanted this figure, you know, to be the creme de la creme of my Sonic collection, so it was a little disappointing. Let's take a look at the stand. It's still a great figure, I'll give it that. It's just this little kind of spirally kind of thing with one peg. You look at the bottom of the shoe, there's a tiny little hole, so you just peg him in there, get him situated so he won't fall. And there's oh, I know what you're trying to do. And there's Shadow looking down because he can't look up. Now let's take a look at Sonic. This one's unfortunately the better figure of these two. Mostly because of, you know, being able to stand and all the joints are tighter. But let's take a look at the detail first. Again, every tiny little detail is there. I like the look of the blue here on his head. He's got that tiny little smirk while his shadow had that kind of frown kind of thing. But yeah, every tiny little detail is there. But it still suffers from the top-heavy problem and the kind of bit of less loose legs that Shadow suffered. But then again, it still has, you know, all the same articulation that the other one had, just with more tighter joints. Now, for the price that these guys ranged, it was kind of $7 to $8, somewhere around there. They're okay. I mean, they're really good figures, but again, what it comes down to is the top heaviness and just the problem of putting these figures in on the stand, and you know, they're okay. I mean, I probably wouldn't buy more of these just because of that single problem. But these two are really, really great. I mean, Shadow and Sonic works like the most epic characters other than Knuckles from the cartoon series and the video games. So yeah, that's my review. Stay tuned, I'm still going to review way more, so stay tuned.